This is Muhammad Hamouda speaking. Uh, we are in the third lecture analysis in the third chapter entitled analysis. First of all, we want to talk about this question. Why do interpreters listen to the speeches differently? Actually, in general, when ordinary people or audience listen to a speech, they focus on mainly on the content and the words of the speeches, while interpreters are different. First of all, they are focusing on the content and the words like the audience, the ordinary people or audience, but also they try to analyze the text to reveal its structure, to identify the structure used in the speech, and to take a picture about its progression, the text progression. Moreover, they attempt to recognize the main idea and the secondary ideas, identifying the main ideas and the secondary ideas and the links and connections between these two types. يعني the main ideas and how the main ideas and the secondary ideas are linked with each other, the relationships between them. Thus, these are the two main differences. Okay, let's move to structural breakdown. First of all, when we listen to a speech, every speech follows an identifiable structure or a certain structure. These structures are drawn from internet or certain books. For example, if a person wants to write a speech, first of all he goes to internet or goes to books and research about how to write a speech. Then he takes a picture, listens very well, reads and listens very well about how to read a speech. These speeches follows structure, follows structures. Now, when the then he adopts a certain structure. The consecutive interpreter adopts a certain structure, and after that, he follows it while writing his speech. Now, it is recommended that the consecutive interpreter does the same. He should go to the internet or to certain books and research about the same question, how to write a speech. Then he understands the structures or different structures used in writing speeches, and after that he can relate the speech into a certain structure he is familiar with. Now, يعني now the translator knows, or the consecutive interpreter knows, different types of structures. When he listens to a speech, immediately he relates or makes connections between a certain structure he knows and the speech. And this makes the process of interpreting easier than, okay, more easier or easier. Now, knowing the templates that the speakers adhere to facilitates the process of interpreting. Okay, is it clear? يعني if we if the interpreter knows, relates, or makes a connection between a certain structure he is familiar with and the speech, then he interprets more smoothly. Okay. Structures may be, for example, some speeches follow this structure: past, present, future. He talks about the original speaker talks about past events, then moves to talk about present events, and he predicts future events. This is chronological order: past, present, then the future. The second structure may be for against conclusion. For example, we have a controversial topic. For uh, is stand for stands for the Now, for stands actually for the positive views, against is refers to the negative views, and finally conclusion, making a general conclusion about for positive and negative views. The third structure may be the beginning, middle, and end. The beginning or actions, for example, the middle, and finally the conclusion or the end. May some speeches may uh, adhere a problem or may refer to a problem, then or introduces a problem, then talks about the causes, and finally uh, possible introduces possible solutions. Maybe certain or literary text or literary speeches follow this structure generally: introduction, development, conclusion. Introduction of the actions, development of the actions, then how these actions are developed till we reach the climax in which the hero realizes his main problem or his main mistake. Finally, conclusion refers to the death and punishment of the hero. يعني introduction includes a, commi- a mistake committed by the hero. Development includes till we reach the actions are developed till we reach to the climax. The climax is the point of realization in which the hero realizes his mistake committed in the introduction, and final conclusion refers to the punishment of the hero because he commits a mistake. Okay, it may the speech may follow introduction, argument, counter argument, conclusion. Introduction, in which the speech introduces a problem or addresses a main problem. Argument and the counter argument refers to the opposite view of the argument, and finally يعني views, opposite views, and finally conclusion. Now we are moving to mind maps. Actually, mind maps refers to a note-taking technique. It is a technique of note-taking, non-linear way. In a non-linear way, linear way refers to a line which starts beginning, end. For example, something leads to another thing. The second thing leads to the third thing, or one action. The first action leads to the second action, and the second action leads to the third action, and so on. This is a linear way. يعني خط وكأنها بتمر بخط مستقيم. هنا mind maps is non-linear. يعني it takes different shapes but not a linear way. Patterned notes is an example of mind maps. It is also refers to a special representation of information in a paper. Any way of representation of information in a paper. يعني patterned notes are generally any way of presenting information. We have different we have different ways such as concept maps, knowledge maps, spidergrams, pyramid diagrams. These representations reflects the way mind associates and record information. Actually, your mind generally associates and or makes connections between different information in the shape of concept map, or in a shape of knowledge map, or in a shape of spidergrams or pyramid diagrams. So these shapes that you can use and draw such concept map. Also, you draw or store knowledge using these shapes in your mind. Okay, look at this picture. It is a concept map. Now look, this is the general idea, or this is the the topic here. Then we write the concept, the main concept, the second main concept, another concept, another concept. Then these every concept ev- is divided into sub-concepts, or this is the main, this is an idea is connected with the main concept. The second idea also is connected with the main concept. This idea also is connected to the third, to the to this concept. And other, the second concept also, we have sub ideas. Every idea is connected directly with the second concept. And this is the same, and finally this is the same. Now also we can connect between concepts with each other. This concept is connected with this concept, or we can draw سهم هيك. Okay, and we write the type of relationship. مثلا كيف type of relationship? It is an example مثلا، أو ممكن يكون غير example, or we can write it is not an, we can write for example friendship relationship. friendship مثلا عندنا أنا مثلا شخص character, another character, another character. The relationship between this character and this character is friendship. Between this character and this character, like for example brotherhood relationship, and so on. We can draw, we can write in the concept map, we write the title, then the main concepts, and we can make sub concepts. Okay, this is the concept map. Now spidergrams. Actually spidergrams takes the shape of spider, of spider جرام. اوكي، نفس او سبايدر نت، تماما نفس شبكة السبايدر اللي هو العنكبوت. Here we have the main idea or the topic, and every circle talks about or refers to a certain concept, or refers to a certain or specific idea related, directly related to the topic. Pyramid maps. Pyramid maps is اللي هي haram, as we say. This idea is the less important, then the above is more important, more important, more important, and finally this is the most important. So pyramid maps, these, the first, the bottom refers to the least or the less important one, the top refers to the most important idea. This is the pyramid map. Now these maps or mental maps generally helps the translator or the interpreter to structure his information, to make connections between, or to create connections between different concepts, the relationships between ideas, identifying for example the main ideas and the secondary ideas. So it helps the translator to determine what to write. For example, these are the main ideas and I must write them. And these are the second ideas and I can ignore some of them, for example. So these techniques generally helps the translator to determine what to write and what not to write. Now finally creates a visual image. This is, for example, this is a visual image. Okay, this is a visual image. These sections. Now actually sections مقاطع. In written text refers to paragraphs. And this is the paragraph number 1, paragraph number 2, paragraph number 3. These in written text, and every paragraph is called a section. Okay, so in written text sections are paragraphs, while in speaking it refers to group of sentences directly related to one idea. So when we talk about the chunks, these chunks are directly related to a certain idea. These called section. is called a section. Now, the interpreter should determine where the section starts and where it ends, because how he can rely on two main things: the content and the intonation of the speaker. The content, we mean the idea. The chunks are connected, or the chunks talk about the same idea. We can consider these chunks as a one section. Also, the intonation of the speaker, when rising intonation and falling intonation. For example, falling intonation usually refers to the end of a section. Okay, while rising intonation refers to the beginning of a section. Okay, because we usually introduce the most important ideas, the most important thing within the least important thing. Uh, in the section, we refer to the most important information, so we stress them, we make rising intonation, while at the end we make falling intonation, because these are the least important, or the least important ideas. Or so we can make mini summaries. Actually, mini summaries, or summaries in general, are very important, and it is a vital skill in interpreting, because some speakers, for example, speak for 10 minutes or 15 minutes, and it is impossible for any interpreter or consecutive interpreter to remember every single word. It is impossible. But the translator or the interpreter can make a summary, a mimic summary consisting of three words. And these three words not necessary to be grammatically correct, but it summarizes the main idea. Then, when he interprets, he only sees these mimic summaries and talks about and interprets. Thus, he ensures that, or the consecutive interpreter ensures that his interpretation includes or covers the most important ideas. So, making summaries is also it is the result of analysis process. Now, mimic summaries is a three-word phrase. It is a phrase consisting of only three words, and it is not necessary to be grammatically correct, but it refers to the main idea. Now, we have different ways of writing mini summaries. First of all, we can take the phrase directly from the speaker, the original speaker, and we replace it word by word, or we can form a short phrase. Okay, now section diagrams. First of all, analysis. What is meant by analysis? Analysis means dividing the speech, or dividing the sentence into its constituents. Okay, now, first of all, we break the whole speech into sections. Then, these sections are broken into subsections. And after that, finally, we draw a diagram that contains the main sections and also the subsections, or the main concepts and the main ideas which are related to every concept. Okay, now actually this chapter is very easy, and it is very short chapter. The next chapter is wider and covers more information, and I hope you understand it well. If you have any question, please feel free to contact me either on the messenger group or on the اللي هو page, university page. Okay, thank you very much.